Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video on Gran Turismo 7 on my channel. We have Thursday, which means we have a new lap time challenge up, so let's get into the game and check out the details. And the new one is on Sardegna Road track in layout A in the Lexus LFA from 2010. And the current time to beat is a 1:47.9 to get the gold, so let's get on track and try to beat it. In order to have a good start into your lap, it is necessary to carry a good amount of speed through the last corner. So only lift the accelerator pedal, let the car coast shortly and early back to the power. You can go really wide here without affecting the track limits. Then carry a good amount of speed onto the main straight and over the starting line. And then your first brake marker will be in between the 200 and the 150 meter board or the last starting grid position on the right hand side of the track. Go hard into the brakes and use engine braking to slow that car down, and then use first gear to get some rotation, go for the apex, let the car slide early back to second and back to the power without having oversteer. Revving out the gears, you can take the right and left hander flat out without going off track. Accelerating through and shifting up to fifth gear, next brake marker will be shortly after the beginning of the curb on the right hand side. Again, brake hard in a straight line and use engine braking. Down to second gear, some rotation, short power input before braking again for the right hander. Now you may use second or third gear, but second worked faster for me. Now back to the power, revving out those gears again up to fourth gear. Next brake marker will be below the 50 meter board. Braking hard in a straight line, go down to second gear and keep it more or less narrow in this corner. Early upshift to third and early back on the power without hitting the barrier. So the next section is actually flat out, so some time to relax, considering to give a like to my video and then keep it narrow in this left hander to not go wide on the exit of the corner. Then your next brake marker is shortly before the 150 board, around 160 meters I would say. Brake hard in a straight line, use engine braking again. To the very latest go to first gear for some rotation, early up to second and early back to the power without having oversteer. Coming to the tricky part of the track in my opinion, keep it flat out through this double right hander and then lift the pedal in this area to keep it narrow for the right hander, position the car to the right hand side for the left hander. Short brake input and down to third gear, give the car some time to rotate before going back to the power without going wide or crashing the barrier. Then your next brake marker is around the 100 meter board. Position the car to the right hand side, brake hard in a straight line, use engine braking again, first gear for some rotation, early back to second and early back to the power without having oversteer. And finally for the second time of your lap you have to nail the last corner right, so lift up the pedal, let the car coast and as early as possible back to the power without exceeding the track limits and then go to the finish line to get a gold time and 2 million credits. And as usual, let's review the lap once more from chase cam. Get the last corner right by lifting the pedal, letting the car coast and early as possible back to the power, not exceeding the track limits on the left hand side. Go down the main straight and enjoy the sound of this car before going to the first brake marker, which is the last starting grid position on the right hand side of the track. Brake hard in a straight line, use engine braking, down to first gear for some rotation, early up to second and go to the power without having oversteer. Flat out through this right and left hander without going right on the exit of this corner. Short upshift to fifth gear, your next brake mark is at the beginning of the curb on the right hand side. Brake and use engine braking again down to second gear, getting the car to rotate, short power input before braking for the right hander and back to the power again, taking caution not to have oversteer. Rev out third gear and go up to fourth and your next brake marker is at the 50 meter board. Brake hard in a straight line, keep the car in the middle of this lane and go early up to third again, going to the power without hitting the barrier. The next section is flat out, so take this one to relax a little, but keep it narrow in the corner, especially in this left hander to not go wide at the exit of the corner. So you can take it as mentioned flat out, your next brake marker is shortly before the 150 meter board. Use engine braking again in a straight line, down to first gear for some rotation and early back to second, going to that throttle with caution not to have oversteer again. Now the tricky part of the section, in fourth gear, go flat out and at this right hander lift the pedal to keep it on the right hand side of the track. Short brake action down to third for rotation, let the car coast and as early as possible back to the power without going off track. Next brake marker, 100 meter board, engine braking again down to first gear for rotation and then up to second, going to that power as early as possible, again not having oversteer. And now last but not least, the final corner. In fourth gear, lift the pedal slightly, let the car coast into the corner and as early as possible back to the power without exceeding the track limits and then make it to the finish line, get a gold time and yourself the 2 million credits in this challenge. And again, that's it. One lap in the Lexus LFA. Great engine power, really nice sound, but poor brakes, intermediate handling, at least from my opinion, and high oversteer tendency out of corners. So in total, not a lot of fun to me, but maybe let me know down in the comments how you handled this one and if it was fun to you. And as usual, if this video helped you out, I would be happy if you leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And then I say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.